His new young adult book is called Colin Kaepernick, Change the Game. Details of his coming-of-age journey and his introduction to activism in high school.
It's his true high school coming-of-age story, his journey embracing his blackness, despite resistance from many, including his white adoptive parents.
I know my parents love me, but there were still very problematic things that I went through.
He took cues from his icon, basketball star Allen Iverson, who he said wore his blackness like a suit of armor. And teenage Kaepernick wanted cornrows to match. He's getting what roles, his mom asked?
Oh, your hair's not professional. Oh, you look like a little thug.
I remember my own mother talking about different hairdos and hairstyles, cornrows and the like. And she was like, no, you can't do that. This is the way you're going to carry yourself. That's how you're going to do your hair and all that stuff. It's going to be nice. It's going to be cut nice. And that's what you're going to do.
So many black men will lose lose thousands of dollars in opportunity over stupid stuff. Black men, if you want to move up into upper management, you are going to have to cut your dreads. See, a lot of black brothers think this is selling out. When you grow on your dreads and all this other kind of stuff, you better realize that that's looked at as being, your personal expression is looked at as rebellious. You don't have to do any of the things I'm talking about. You just won't you won't move up. You won't move up. You'll stay where you are, and you'll look up and you'll be 40 years old doing the same entry-level job you're doing.
My problem with the whole thing is he continues to push this black identity crisis that he's having. It seems like he's presenting a certain way that you have to be black, and a certain thing that black people, a certain way black people have to carry themselves, a certain look that black people have to have. And when you're growing up in a family, whether you're being raised, if you're a black kid being raised by white parents, or even if you're a black kid being raised by black parents, if there's a standard that is set in your home, that is the standard that you go by. And in my house, when I was growing up, my parents had a standard, and the standard is that even if I wanted cornrows, I wasn't going to be able to get cornrows. I had to be neat cut, neat shaven, and also neatly dressed when I left the house. There wasn't a lot of this sagging pants all the way down to your ankles. There was a certain way and a certain standard my parents had that I had to abide by while I was living under their roof. And I grew up under two black parents. And so is that racist? Is it racist that my black parents would not let me wear my hair a certain way? And the same for my kids. The same for my kids is that my kids are biracial. But my son, which we went to the barbershop yesterday, got his hair cut neatly. Now I see other kids that come into, because we go to a black barbershop, and I see other kids that come in there and they get their hair cut either way. And some of them actually, I don't even know what they come in there for. They come in there and they get an edge up, but their hair still looks like they haven't combed it. It's bushy. You are welcome to wear your hair any way that you are want to, any way that your family allows you to wear your hair while you are living under their roof. Where you come down to the problem is that there is a standard in culture, whether it be white, whether it be black, whether it be this, is that certain things portray certain things in cultures. If you see a white guy who has a bald head, does that not portray something to a lot of black people? If you see a black guy with cornrows, does that not portray a lot of things to a lot of white people? And the thing is that I understand people say, well, you shouldn't judge someone by the way they look. That is true. But when you first are meeting someone and you don't know someone's character and you don't know someone personally, your first impressions are your first impressions. And what sets a lot of black people behind is that they say the first impressions shouldn't matter. They say that you should take me how I am. And that is true to a degree. But when you're first meeting someone, you're starting with a expression, and you're starting with what that person's thought process before you even, when you first meet someone, you're starting out with them just seeing you physically off and starting to rate you physically before any conversation has been had. And let's be honest. Do you want to start in the negative before you even open your mouth with someone? Because I will tell you, black people meeting someone that is white, that is bald their heads, especially if they're young, you have a certain thought process about that person before that person even has an opportunity to open their mouth. If you see someone that is dressed in all black, black fingernails, black hair, black makeup, you have a first impression about that person before that person even has a chance to say anything to you. So the only thing that I can say about this whole situation is this, is that I don't see that as racist. I see that as a family trying to set a young black man up for the opportunity for as much success as possible in this world that could perceive some things as racially dividing or see some things as racist, or for him not to go through the possible path of being treated a certain way just because of the way he looks or because of the color of his skin. And so, is that negative? Is that a bad thing? Is that a bad thing for parents to try to set their kids up for the opportunity for as much success as possible? Because I'm going to be honest with you, there are a lot of parents that don't set their kids up to be successful. They let their kids do whatever they want, whatever the kid feels, and however the kid wants to act, and however the kid wants to dress, and however the kid wants to carry themselves. That's what a lot of parents let their kids do. And then when the kid gets up to be in their 20s and they get up to be in their 30s, they feel like the world is against them because they haven't been taught what the standard is for society. You can live outside those standards. And you're welcome to live outside those standards. But you also have to understand what the consequences are of living outside of those standards.